It's 5 here. 6.
Yes, sir.
Madam Charlotte, are you 5 or 6?
We are 5.
Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9. Hey, are you 10 or 11? 10, 11. Okay, 10 is here. 11, 12. Okay. So maybe they will join us, we go along. A minute. Please. Can you see the slide, please? Yes, please. Okay, so okay. So we're supposed to look at context and meaning. So, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Let's go on. Okay, so Please, as I go along, if along the line you can't hear me, then you draw my attention to it. So you are looking at context and meaning. So in this lesson, we'll be defining what context is. We'll look at the types of context, the development and approaches to analyzing context, and then we look at some functions of context. So by the time we are done with the lesson and your presentations, we are expecting you to be able to define the concept of context in semantics. And then you also explain how the various scholars contributed to understanding context. And then you analyze Halliday's theory of context. Okay. I believe you can hear me.
Yes, madam, I can hear you.
Okay. So when you talk of context in semantics, what do you mean? We've already talked about polysemous words. And we've seen that some words have multiple meanings. And we realize that their meanings will depend on the context within which they are being used. And so then when you talk of context, what do we mean? And so here, talking about context, we are looking at the circumstances or the conditions in which a language is used. So what one language, the same word, what will mean in situation A may be different from what it will mean in situation B. So that situation is what we refer to as context. And then you need to understand the situation before you be able to understand the meaning of what is or what you are reading, or what or what you hear, what you read from a text. So for instance, if I tell you, if I using the word let's use the word trunk. Using the word trunk. Look at this sentence and then tell me the meaning of trunk as used in the sentence. If I tell you the tour guide showed us a trunk. The tour guide showed us a trunk. What's the meaning of trunk? How do you understand trunk as used in the sentence? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, madam.
Okay.
Yes, madam. Can you hear?
Okay. So what's the meaning of trunk? I've typed it. I've typed the sentence in the comment section. The meaning of the word trunk. Yeah.
Yes, madam. Think I'm connect. I want to connect the tour guide, or assume the tour guide is in a zoo, and so the trunk would have to do with a part of an elephant or an animal part.
Very good. Very good. What about this sentence? All first year students are supposed to come or report to campus. Okay. let me put it in a different way. All first year students are expected to bring trunks to school. So what's the meaning of trunk in this sentence? Robert.
Yes, the trunk in this situation will mean the containers in which they had packed their belongings, clothes, items for school.
Okay, so why did you explain the trunk used in the first sentence differently from the one used in the second sentence? What
When you mentioned the tour guide, my mind averted to a zoo or a place, and so the meaning of the trunk would have the word trunk would have a different meaning compared to that of a student. Student going to school would also have a different meaning. The usage of the word trunk would have a meaning in that context because students expected to have trunks in which they will pack their belongings. So the students going to school, tour guide, use of the trunk would have meaning because of the situations they find themselves in.
Good. And so basically you were able to tell the meaning of trunk in the first sentence and the second sentence by looking at the environment within which the word was used. And so that's what we refer to, or that's what we mean when we say context. Okay. So context will help us to interpret the intended meaning behind the language that we use. Sometimes the culture will help us to interpret the meaning, the social situation, the linguistic elements around it. They will help us to define a word or interpret what we hear or what we read. So that is what we refer to when we talk about context. So there are different types of context. We'll be looking at three of them: context, context of situation, and then context of culture. I hope the other members are joining. By the time I finish, we will get all of them. Okay, so let's look at context as a type of context. So the context will refer to the surrounding words of, was it Robert or the other respondent? And I remember the person said to tell that that trunk refers to that part of, because of the use of the word tour guide. And so the words, when the words in the sentence or in helps you to understand the meaning of use or the meaning of a sentence, then we are looking at. So quote refers to quote. Sometimes quote, and if you say quote and you are looking at the other text that you are giving or you are sharing it with. You are in one room, another one is it, you become co-tenant. The text refers to the words used in the sentence. So co-text refers to the other words in the same sentence or that same environment or in the same discourse. Let's put it in that way. So you understand of a word or the meaning of a phrase or the meaning of an utterance, looking at the other words or other phrases that occur with the same utterance or the same word. That's what we refer to talk about linguistic context, also known as context or linguistic context. So I gave the example of a trunk already. You can also look at the example bank. an example. You know, also a polymorph word. Okay, and so in the word, in the sentence, I went to deposit money at the bank, and then I went to the river bank. Using the same bank, you realize that in the first sentence, you hear the use of the word money. The second sentence, you hear river. And so money, river would the meaning of trunk or the meaning of bank that is being referred to. So it's the surrounding words and text that occur with the word that you are looking for the meaning. It's those surrounding words that will help you to understand the specific meaning or the particular meaning of that word that is being referred to. So that's the meaning of the code. And then we have context of situation. So the context of situation, we look at the immediate situation that takes place. Communication takes place. So with your son usually 8 p.m. That's the usual time. That's a normal time to bed. Now you are in the room with your son. Your son is watching. You have checked your time. It is past 8 p.m. Now you look at your time and then you say, John, 8 p.m. John, it's 8 p.m. How would John understand, or how would John understand what you mean? John, interpret your sentence. I hope I'm not gone.
Madam, please,
Hello,
can you repeat the question?
Yes, madam, we can hear you.
Yeah, so okay, so I'm looking at context of situation. I'm trying to give you, I gave you an example. And I said that you are in a house with your son. Your son usually sleeps at 8 p.m. Okay, so you are in the room with your son. He's watching cartoons. And you check the time, you see that it's already 8 p.m. And so you look at your time and then you say, John, it's 8 p.m. John, it's 8 p.m. How will John interpret your sentence or your utterance? How will John interpret it? Nana?
Madam, thank you. Good morning to you. I think the 8 p.m. will mean to John as the time for John to sleep, or it will refer to the time that John is supposed to sleep. Thank you.
Okay, so how will John understand that? Because yes, Anna, you are right. It refers that John is supposed to sleep. But how will John interpret that? How will he be able to tell that it is time for him to go to bed? Rich.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, madam. So John would interpret that as the father or myself telling him to go and sleep or stop watching the cartoon and then go and sleep, even though I didn't say go and sleep. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Ebenezer. Yeah, Ebenezer, let's hear you.
No, please, I think what John would do is immediately the father make that utterance. John will maybe put the TV off, then stand up and go to sleep, because it is usually the time for him to sleep. And since the father is prompting him that it's 8 p.m., then John must go to sleep. Thank you.
Okay, good. And so here, John immediately understood it to mean that he has to go to bed. Nana Kwame, your hand is up again.
Something that John, because of the earlier communication that John had with the father, it will soon come to his mind that the 8 o'clock means that it is time for him to sleep.
Exactly. So it's exactly as if all said that John will interpret it by the situation exists. Already looking at the time, his father is telling him that he will just understand to me. And so when you talk of situation, you're looking at the immediate situation the community face. What said is this kind of environment where something can mean have in a situation another meaning in a different. So at the determine the meaning that is true. That's the context of situation, context of culture, where we are looking at the broad work. So context of situation, context of culture, context of situation looks of France, but context of culture looks at the general cultural background within. So this example, let's use and so the line is breaking. It's from my end. Okay, I think I believe you can hear me now.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, so I was explaining the context of culture. And I said, unlike context of situation, that
Madam, it
looks
is
at
still
the meaning.
breaking.
Yes, madam.
Is it yes or no? Is it still breaking?
It's
Madam,
no.
the network. Very bad.
Madam is okay now.
It's okay now, please.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
My name is like quiet on and off.
It's on or not. Okay, let's see what's happening. So I was giving an example for the context of culture. Now I was using eye contact. You know, eye contact can be interpreted in different ways based on the culture. In some cultures, when someone is speaking with you, especially when an elder is talking to you, you are supposed to look at the elder's face. If you take your eyes off, it is interpreted as disrespect. In some other cultures, when an elder is speaking with you, and then you look at the elder's face, it means you don't respect. Now, this difference in meaning comes about as a result of the culture within which this is happening. So that is the context of culture. How meaning is deduced from the culture, or how cultural background or how cultural framework affects how a text or utterance is interpreted. Now here, in terms of greetings, let's say in Ghana here, meet an elderly, hello, and you meet another person, say hello, and you pass. How will it be interpreted? Interpret your, you're looking at Ghana. How would the other person, how will it be interpreted? On culture, okay? Okay, so they will be viewed as disrespect. The person you just, or you just say, so in some part of the world, they will view it as normal. In some part of the world, or in the Western world, one can even by name, just their name. That and then mommy or daddy.
Hello, now we can't hear anything. No. It's still, it's Madam still.
The network was off. I think
Madam, your line is breaking. We can't hear anything.
I'm back now.
But then your line keep breaking. We can't hear.
Hello, colleagues. Am I on?
And how to leave and rejoin. Can you hear me? Is it better now? Or is it still the same?
Yes, madam.
Is it better now?
Yes, madam. It's better.
Okay. All right. So let's move on. So yes, I started looking at context. And then we saw that when you talk of context, you are looking at the environment within which something is said or an utterance is made. And it's that environment, or yes, that environment that will help your utterance or the text to be understood. The environment will influence the meaning of what is being said. Then we look at types of context, context, context of situation, context of culture. And the context, I said that you are looking at the surrounding words that occur with the word that you want to understand, or the surrounding phrases or the surrounding text that helps you to understand of situation.
Hello, madam. We hardly go.
You
We
ask
hardly hear
yourself
from you.
who was the tunnel. Okay, then what you are going to okay, let me see whether the group members are here. Those who are taking the network is not helping. If you postpone it, then what can you have? Because I have it. Unless after Monday. That one I can be sure I can have stable internet. But today and tomorrow is the same place, so I can't guarantee that. So what do we do? Do we manage it or we postpone it? Because I don't know.
Madam, I think Monday will be cool. Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, please, me to the same thing. I think Monday or Tuesday will be better for us.
Monday evening. What time, please? What time?
Madam, please, on Monday, I'm not going to use the same place because...
No, I will not be at the same place.
Okay.
5 o'clock.
I suggest 6:30 you do.
5 is too
I
early.
also suggest 6:30 about so that we start the class.
Yes, 6:30. Then
I also suggest 7 o'clock.
See, 6:30 will be 7 o'clock because
yes, 6:30 will be.
So let's suggest 6:30 so that even after if we start at 7 o'clock, then that'll be the better.
Madam, I also suggest, Madam.
Are we okay?
Madam, please, I also suggest that we do the presentation now.
Class.
Hello, Madam. Hello.
Yeah, but can you do it? Looking at the internet network? Yes, I can hear you. Are you sure you can do you can have your presentation?
Since we had prepared for today, I was thinking we make the most of the time so that because Monday, we've planned for other things. So now canceling this one and then pushing it to Monday, I think it's not convenient to some of us.
And maybe from your end, others can hear you. But from my end, you cannot hear me. So maybe I should stop mine and then we see whether your presentations, your colleagues will hear you. I don't know whether the issue is coming from my end. From your end, it can work. Yeah.
Hello, madam. It appears you are clear now. It appears it's clearer now than before. So if we can continue. On Monday, we are likely to have literary criticism. I don't know if he has. We're not going to have it on Monday. If everybody is saying Monday, Tuesdays, we usually meet him. I don't know. But for now, if you can do away with the slides and then keep teaching so that we can refer from other devices, maybe that one will help. Because I can hear you quite loud and clear.
Madam, please, I also suggest the idea of Madam Ernestine. Can we have the presentation today? And if the problem is coming from you, and then on Monday you do your, what do you call it? Because we have planned for today. We don't know what will happen on Monday too. So please, if we can have the presentation today, then if your network is having a challenge, then we have your own on Monday. Please.
Guys, please, I think we should all agree and do it on Monday because after the presentation, Madam has to comment on them. And since The lie is breaking from Madam's end. I think it will be better we do it on Monday, please.
Okay, so can we attempt one? Can we attempt one and see? Because no one knows what will happen on Monday too. So sometimes when the opportunity comes like this, because I believe that we can manage and hear. So why don't we try doing something, and then if it persists, we can then advise ourselves.
You see, for now, the
Because
madam is complaining that
these 4 hours, are you saying that these 4 hours, we should just go back and then Monday we reschedule? We reschedule it. Then what do we do this time? So let us try something. Don't let us just give up like that. Because we are able to hear Madam to a large extent.
Yesterday, for example, there was a heavy downpour at my end, so I didn't hear what happened at the other lesson. So please, if you can all agree and then have something this morning.
Hello. But the network is bad. It's too bad.
No, madam.
Yes, it's too bad. So I will pause here so that if you can have your presentation, at least for that one, even if I go off, I will still join you. But coming from my end, it will not help you. So let's see if any of you is ready, the groups that are ready to present. I wish you could have the group presenting on content so that they will just add it to mine. But let's see. There's one here. Am I gone again? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
It's true here.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I think we can give you the. You can start because, or if I your colleague.
Yeah, so yes, so I'm projecting is it that of group 2?
All right.
Okay, thank you. Bob, can you see the screen?
Your slide is not yet showing.
It's not yet showing. Okay.
No, the slide is not.
Okay.
Yeah, it's showing now.
All right, thank you.
The slide. Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. Our question was, we had 2 questions. The question 1 says, please, can everyone hear me? All right. Nats, please go back. Okay. The first question. The next slide of the question. Using relevant examples, compare and contrast lexical, structural, and referential ambiguity. Nat, the next slide, please. Okay. Lexical ambiguity from our discussion occurs when a single word or phrase has multiple meanings, which leads to these confusions and lack of clarity. For example, the word bank, as Madam had already alluded to, could refer to a financial institution or the location on the river. Second example, the word spring. It could mean a season or a coiled metal object that stores energy. I can add a third example, the word saw, S-A-W. It could mean the past tense of see, or it could mean an instrument for cutting material. So that is where lexical ambiguity is likely to occur because of the polysemous nature of a word. Then I move on to structural ambiguity. Structural ambiguity arises from the sentence structure, the makeup of a sentence, and this makes it unclear how words relate to each other. For example, visiting relatives can be boring. Now, the question one would ask is, visiting, does it describe the relative or the act of visiting? And so if the word is used this way in a sentence, or the way the words have been arranged, it could be unclear what the visiting relative mean here. So it causes ambiguity. Another example is, the teacher saw the students with the telescope. it's unclear who has the telescope here. Is it a teacher who is looking at the students with the telescope, or the telescope is in the possession of the students? So this also creates the structural ambiguity because of the way the words in the sentence have been arranged. That's next slide, please. And then we will look at referential ambiguity. Referential ambiguity occurs when it is unclear what or whom a word or phrase refers to. If we look at the example, John told David he should study harder. We don't know who is studying harder. Is it John or David? So who is being referenced to in this sentence? It is unclear. The second example, the manager fired the employee because he was incompetent. The pronoun in this sentence is unclear whether it is referring the pronoun he. We don't know who is being referred to. Is it the manager or the employee? So it makes this sentence unclear, and it's a type of referential ambiguity because it's not clear who is incompetent in this case. Now, the comparison between these three, all three types of ambiguity can lead to confusion and misinterpretation because of the nature of the words in the sentence. And lexical ambiguity relies on word meanings. Structural ambiguity depends on the form of the sentence or the structure of the sentence. And referential ambiguity involves unclear references, who is being referred to in the sentence. So understanding the context, as Madam mentioned earlier on, can help resolve ambiguity in each case. Let's move on to look at the question 2 of our group work. The question 2 asked, how does lexical ambiguity arise from the internal properties of words? Now, with the internal properties of words, we are referring to the nature of a word. If the word is a polysemous word, it creates ambiguity if it is not used in the right context or the right situation. For example, the word head can either refer to a body part, it could refer to a leader, an organization, or it could refer to the source of a river. So if the word is not used in the right context, this internal property of a word being polysemous could create ambiguity. And another internal property of words that causes ambiguity is homophones, words that are homophones or homophony. And homophony occurs when words sound alike but have different meanings. We have so many examples. Words like nights and nights, because of the way they all have the same sound, it could create ambiguity. So to conclude, context plays a very crucial role in helping clear this ambiguity. So when we use words with the right context and with the right structure, or we use words in clear, crisp manner, it gets rid of all these ambiguities that we have. Thank you, Madam.
You are done, eh?
Yes, Madam.
Unfortunately, I was on and off, so I could hardly hear you. But is there any question coming from the group members? I mean, any question from the class? Okay. All right, so since there's no question, I want to assume everything was clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, madam.
That's for today. Okay. The next group is group 1 in. Thank you very much, Robert. Thank you very much. I didn't hear all the presentation, but at least I heard it from the beginning and somewhere in the middle.
Okay, madam, I want to present mine. It follows immediately after Robert's
that's fine.
Presentation.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Give me just a moment. Please, I hope everyone can see my screen. The slide, as I shared it on my screen.
The slide is okay. It's now showing.
It's not showing. Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. So, I am to look at differences between. I'm looking at it for this is a broader picture. Differences between homonymy and polysemy, and how each contributes to multiple meanings in English. So that is the question. The differences between homonymy and polysemy, and how each contributes to multiple meanings in English. So I have the objectives here. Define, in this presentation, I'm going to define homonymy and polysemy, and then I'll provide examples of each showing multiple meanings and show how each, that is homonymy and polysemy, contributes to multiple meanings in English. Now, homonymy, the word homonymy. Homonymy occurs usually when the two or more words share the same meaning. And share the same meaning, it could be in terms of spellings or pronunciation. Even though they might share the same meaning in terms of spelling or pronunciation, the meanings may not be related. So to put it in another way, homonymy could be a single word form that is represented. Could be a single word form that represent different and unrelated lexical items. So a single word form that represents different and unrelated lexical items. Let's look at examples that would help clarify this meaning. So, for example, we have bank. I think I'm using a similar example as Robert used in his presentation. So we have bank, and here as a financial institution, as against bank as which has to do with the side of a river. Then we also have bat. Bat can be seen as an animal, as against bat, that equipment that is used, in sports. And we can even have seal, which is an animal, as against seal, that is to close something tightly. So that is an example. This is an example to explain the homonymy. Then now let's look at the contribution of homonymy to multiple meanings. So we'll say that homonymy does cause ambiguity in communication. So here you cannot tell whether one is referring to the bank of the river, or one is referring to the financial institution, the side of the river or the financial institution when you mention the word, bank. So that creates ambiguity. And then a single word form can represent distinct unrelated concepts. Just one single word can represent distinct unrelated concepts. So I just mentioned bank, and bank here is an institution which is unrelated to the side of a river. So that is what this means. Then also, with this contribution to multiple meanings, we have the correct meaning depends entirely on context. So the issue of context is key for us to be able to get the meaning of bank, when used in a sentence. Okay, so I now move on to polysemy, and here polysemy would usually occur when one word has several related meanings. So if you compare to the earlier homogamy, you will realize that with polygamy, the word that particular word has several related meanings. So these related meanings are usually developed from a common source or core sense. So here the related meanings here are developed from, they can be obtained from a common source or core sense, and also I would add that these related meanings are semantically connected. They are connected semantically. And let's use examples to explain this. So you have head. Now head is the part of the body, but it's at the very top. Then also you have the same head as the leader of a group, also at the very top, so head of a department. Then you have the top of front parts of something. It could be a table, so here too at the very top or front. Then we have also we have okay. So then we have foot. So when you mention foot, it is a part of the body, maybe at the base or at the very lowest part of the body. Then we could also use the same foot as the base of a mountain. That is at that point where the mountain touches the ground. And then even we could use foot at the end of a page. That is footnote. So you can see that when you take head, the meanings are related in terms of they being at the front or at the top. And then when you take foot, the meanings are related, they being at the very bottom or at the base. Now, contribution to multiple meanings. So polysemy enriches language by allowing a single word to extend its meanings metaphorically or functionally. So here, you could use the word in a metaphorical manner or in a functional manner to really explain or communicate what you intend to communicate. But it does the meaning would be about the same, even if it's even if it's metaphorical, the meaning will still be about it. So be related to other situations in which you have used that particular word. And then so from what has been discussed, we can clearly see that polysemy, enables semantic flexibility. It allows for semantic flexibility, and then also expressive variety in communication. So you can decide to use that same word to mean something something else that relates to the meaning of the word within a different context. So that ends the question A. Now we are moving to the second part, which looks at the broader picture being ambiguity in English. So the question is how confusion between connotative and denotative meanings, and also between idiomatic and literal expressions, create ambiguity in English. How these create ambiguity, in the English language. Objectives will be to explain connotative and denotative meanings, as well as idiomatic and literary meanings. Then also to use examples to show confusion between connotative and denotative meanings, as well as idiomatic and literal meanings. And then finally, use examples also to show how ambiguity, is created. So I move on to the next slide. So connotative and denotative meanings. I've pair them together so we can see the differences and how the confusion comes about. So denotative meaning, it has to do with the literal meaning as it is said, the general meaning or dictionary meaning. And in this case, it's objective and factual. It makes factual reference. So the meaning as it's generally understood, that is the denotative meaning. But when you come to the connotative meaning, here it is not about the literal meaning. It's not about the general meaning. It's not about the straightforward meaning, but rather maybe emotional. You have to, in order to really get the meaning, you might consider the emotional, cultural, or associative meanings of that particular word. So it goes beyond the literal sense. Let's look at examples to explain this. So we have the word home. The word home denotes a place where one lives. That's a general meaning. When someone mentions home, that is what comes there. That's the meaning that just strikes you, immediately. But when you want to look at it connotatively, then it might connote, something that has to do with comfort, safety, and love. So not necessarily a place, but it could also relate or refer to something else. But certainly it should have to do with comfort. It has to do with safety. It has to do with love. Then if someone also says, oh, he's a snake. So you refer to someone as a snake. He is a snake. The denotative meaning here would be that you are saying the person is a reptile. That is what the speaker is trying to communicate when you want to look at it in terms of the denotative meaning. But then when you want to look at it connotatively, the meaning would rather imply that the person is a deceitful person. So you see that this is not the literal meaning. That's not the literal meaning. There's more of a figurative meaning, which means the person is a deceitful, person. Okay. Then, so how is ambiguity, created as a result of the differences between denotative and connotative meanings? So here, when a listener or reader cannot tell whether the speaker is using, so ambiguity is created when the one listening or the one reading cannot really tell whether the one speaking or the one who has written is using the denotative, which is the literal, or the connotative, which is the figurative sense. So when it is not clear, then the ambiguity comes about. Because the question that will be asked is that, is the speaker or the writer referring to the literal sense that the man is a snake, or he means the figurative sense, which has to do with the man being deceitful? And the context also comes in here, because if based on the conversation that is going on, or based on the background information, you would be able to determine whether the man is being referred to in the literal sense as a snake, or in the figurative sense as being deceitful. So we have an example here. She has a cold heart. She has a cold heart. Denotatively, it means that her body temperature is low, but connotatively, it means she's feeling and she's unfeeling or unsympathetic. Could be detached. So she has a cold heart. If you say that, there could be a lot of ambiguity in this. The question that will be asked is that, are you referring to the denotative meaning that her body temperature is low, or are you referring to the connotative meaning, which has to do with that she being unsympathetic, she being detached, or she having no feelings at all as regards the issue or the matter being discussed? Then now let's look at the confusion also that arises with idiomatic and literal expressions. So with idiomatic expressions, here the meaning is figurative. So you cannot really deduce the meaning from the individual words. They are fixed. You have to look at the entirety of the word, and even the meanings here are fixed to a large extent. You know, then the literal expression here, the meaning comes directly from the words themselves. You know, so you understand the meaning from the face value of the words as they have been put together. As long as they make sense, you know, they will carry a particular meaning which will be very clear and obvious to everyone. Now let's look at an example here. So when you say kick the bucket, literally, what does it mean? To physically strike a bucket with one's foot, to just throw your leg and then it hits, you know, a bucket. But idiomatically means maybe to die, you know. So how is ambiguity created here? Here, if you have a listener, if the listener interprets the word in its idiomatic sense, okay, so let's say the listener interprets an idiomatic expression literally, yes. So if they interpret the word, you know, even though it is coming forth as an idiom, but if he interprets it literally, or if it's supposed to be literal and he interprets it idiomatically, then ambiguity will be created. And there's an example here to explain that. For instance, you say that he spilled the beans. He spilled the beans. Idiomatically, what would it mean? It will mean he revealed a secret. Literally, what would it mean? It will mean he actually poured the beans out. So here is the ambiguity. If it's meant to be idiomatic and you explain it in the literal sense, you are off. Okay, and in this case, spill the beans. You can see that clearly it is idiomatic, you know, so it should be explained in its idiomatic form. But the point here is this, that one should look at the context. The context comes up here. The context will really tell you if it's the meaning should be in its whether it's an idiomatic expression or whether it's a literal expression. And so the meaning will be obtained from, you know, the context of the usage of the word. And so this brings an end to my presentation. Thank you all very much for your listening, for giving me a listening ear. I'm grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Madam on it?
I think she's off. So, Madam Estine, you can.
But ask them if they have any
Yes. So, please, so contributions,
clarity or
suggestions,
anything.
clarity, criticisms, very, very much welcome. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Please, the police sent me and Umain me. I'm so confused. I'm not getting the clear distinction. If you can help me, I'll be grateful. Thank you.
Matt, I think you can help.
Yes, I can. So let's go back to the slides. Okay. So you want us to, yes, my microphone is on. Yes, so you want clarity on the homonymy and then the polysemy, isn't it? If I got you right. Okay, so for the homonymy, what are we looking at here? We are saying that there is a particular word, one word, okay? So for example, you say, hey, a word came and I know that word, there will be a lot of reflection, so I won't use it. I won't use it. Yeah, so here, let me use the example I use, bank. When someone mentions the word bank to you, it is not one clear-cut meaning that comes to your mind. That it's a financial institution. I mean, at this level, maybe at a very lower level, that could be different. But at this level, when someone mentions the word bank, you would have different interpretations or different meanings to that the word bank. So you could look at it in terms of a financial institution. We could also look at it in terms of the side of a river. There could even be other interpretations or other meanings to the word bank. And here we are saying that if you look at the meanings that one can attribute or attach to the word bank, those meanings are unrelated. For example, I say bank, and then what comes to your mind is a financial institution. And then another meaning comes to your mind, which has to do with the side of a river. You see that these two are unrelated. Bank, side of river, they are not related at all. That is what we mean by the homonymy. The two meanings we have come up with here, they are unrelated. The side of a river and a bank, they have no connection. So therefore, we say that that word is a homonymous word, if I may put it that way, or that word is homonymy. Is it clear? The colleague that asked it, is it clear? So you can even have the word. There is this. If I may crave your indulgence, there is this poem that has to do with the English language. I don't know, maybe some of you might have heard of that word before. It says some words have different meanings, but yet they are spelled the same. A cricket is an insect. To play, it is a game. In every land, on every hand, is thoroughly agreed. The English language to explain is very hard indeed. Someone may say that you are a deer, a deer. So a deer is the opposite of sheep, but in this case too, a deer might also mean, what do you call it? It's an animal. So these are, these examples I'm giving you, they are all homonymy, the same word. The meanings are entirely different and unrelated. Then let's come to the polysemy. So with the polysemy here, you are saying that, yes, we have one word, but the meanings are related, exactly the opposite of the homonymy. With a polysemy, the same word, but the meanings are unrelated, are related. And we use the word, I use this example like head. So when you talk about head, yes, head is a part of a body. When you say the part of the body, it's at the very top of the body. Then also, this same head can mean leader of a group. And when we talk about the leader of a group, he's at the very top of the group. You say, if you talk about head as part of a table, then you are referring to the front of the table. So in this case, when you use the word head in different contexts, the meanings are about the same, because referring to someone who is in front, someone who is at the top, something or someone who is in front, or something or someone who is at the top. So you see that the meanings are about the same. Then even let's also look at the opposite of head, which is foot. Foot is at the base. Foot is at the very bottom. So yes, part of the body at the very bottom. Then also, when you talk about use foot of a mountain, it's also at the very bottom, the base. And then when you use foot, even in relation to a page, it is at the end. what we refer to as footnote at the very end. So you see that with polysemy, the word has different meanings, but these meanings are related, as against homonymy, which the word has different meanings, but the meanings are unrelated. Thank you very much.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nat, my
Thank
hand
you
has
so
been
much.
up.
All right, thank you.
Nat,
I would like to know whether, hello, can you hear me?
my hand is up.
This one.
I would like to know whether you are still presenting or you're responding to questions.
I just finished responding to a question, and Ernestine wants to make a contribution. Her hand is up. She wants to make a contribution.
Okay, thank you. Nat.
Okay, so madam, let's make it quicker.
Okay, thank you, madam. Please, I'm just adding to what my brother has already presented, that homonymy, as the word implies, homo there means same. So it has to do with words which are homophones and then homographs. So same sounds and then same spellings. And so if we want to understand it very well, then we should think of words that have the same sound and then words that have the same spelling. So they are in two categories. Then when we come to polysemy, the poly there also means many. So it's like a word that has so many meanings. A word that can be that can have different meanings depending on the context within which it occurs. So that was what I wanted to add, so that when they remember the morphemes, then they will be able to explain it on their own. Thank you.
Grateful, grateful, grateful. Madam, over to you.
Hello. Hello.
Okay, so I'm coming to
Let's take the
Madam
last.
Josephine Winifred Latte, over to you.
Yeah, Samir's hand is up. Let's take the last.
Okay.
Let's take the last.
Okay. I also thank you a lot, and also I'll thank our brother for a better and further explanation. But my question is that in his explanation to the this thing, connotative and that of the pejorative expression, I learned he made the same explanation with that of the connotative with pejorative expression. So I want to know if they are used interchangeably, or we can use this thing, pejorative expression with that of the connotative meaning. So you should explain that point clearer for us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Sami. They cannot be used interchangeably, if I'm correct in this sense. They rather should be used in context. So depending on, that's why if you can recall, I kept on mentioning that you would have to look at the context within which it is being used, so that would enable you to determine whether it is maybe let's say idiomatic or literal, or the other one, to whether it is connotative or denotative. So look at the literal context. I look at the context. So if the context really tilts towards denotative, then you would know, then you would give a denotative interpretation. I mean, to it. But if it tilts towards connotative, then you give connotative interpretation. So if it's denotative, then means that it is literal. It refers to general situations, obvious dictionary meaning. But if it is connotative, then here the circumstance within which it is used, be it emotional, cultural, or associative, would let you appreciate that no, this one is not connotative. It is not denotative, but connotative. This is what I have to say. If someone else wants to contribute, I'll be grateful. Thank you.
Samir, is your question answered?
Yeah. What I want to say is that for that of the denotative meaning, it was very clear as explained. But that of the connotative with the figurative expression, he mixed them up. That's why I had wanted a clear explanation. So that's how I would take it, because he has really explained the connotative. That of the connotative, he did not explain it well with this figurative expression. So if one has explanation to that, thank you.
If I may come in, madam, please.
So I didn't get you. So, hello. Now, Sammy, you said he explained the denotative meaning well. I think we have even looked at these meanings already. Denotative meaning, connotative meaning. We have done those ones already. So, he said initially initially you didn't get the meaning clear. That of investigating. But the second explanation that he provided, has it cleared your confusion? Or are you still confused?
Okay. He has cleared my confusion.
All right. It's unfortunate I can't give comments on all the presentations. Today my network is just so bad. It's on again. But once you can hear the presentations, I think it's fine. Let's take the next group. I'm not sure which group.
Okay, please, it's Zenith. So I'm the last person from Zenith to present.
Okay. So let's try to do it within the 10 minutes, okay?
Okay,
this one
madam.
I couldn't track the time because I was on and off. So let's
It's
try
true.
to do it within the 10 minutes.
Okay, madam. Nat. Hello, Nat, are you there? Okay,
Nat is here, but probably he can't hear you because he's not gone. Is it supposed to help you show your slides?
Yes. I'm trying it here, but so select. Okay, I think. Is it showing?
Yes, it's showing now.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much. So please, our questions, we were divided into 3 groups. So these are the questions for. No, I'm trying to move to the next slide and it's not moving. Okay.
If it's not moving, you can minimize this interface and then go to the size.
Okay.
You can move it from there.
Okay.
Ernestine, don't you think it is PDF? If it's PDF, then you have to scroll rather.
It's this one.
Yes.
maybe
If it's PDF, then you just go down and try scrolling. That might help you. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. PDF. I still learning.
I think she's using PowerPoint. Just use the arrow keys.
I'm using PowerPoint.
The one pointing to. And you are
so
using
if I'm moving from one
the
slide to
paper.
another, it's not just about clicking it. One slide
Are
to
you
another.
using
It's not
your
just about clicking.
yes.
Oh yeah,
yes. And you can use the arrow keys too. The arrow keys too can help. The arrow keys. The one to the right will move to the next one.
Okay.
The 4 arrow keys. So you can leave the
4
mouse and
arrow
then
keys.
just tap the arrow key. The one to the right will move it forward. On the keyboard.
Oh, not if you have.
Okay.
Not if you have it. Why don't you have it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
And now
Ernest, if you like me to share it for you.
it for me.
Okay, all right. Let me do that quickly.
Just I've made a few changes, but I will still present it like that.
I'm wondering. Okay.
I've sent you the last one, so project that one. The last one I've sent.
The last one. Okay. Okay. Just give me a minute. Okay, I'll do that.
Madam Ernestine, try this one too. Look at where we have the notes, the comments.
Yeah, you'll be trying it and then we'll see.
The note, the comment, there is something that looks like the laptop over there. Down there, after the menu. Click on that one.
Nat is doing it for her, so.
Yeah, I know, but I only wanted to try if this one to work so that it will continue.
Okay.
Down there where you see the notes, the comment. Like the laptop open there.
Now should do it for me.
Okay.
Because the only challenge now is how I'll move to the next slide.
That is what I was trying to help you with. But if you think Nat should do that, then there is no problem.
Because I'm wasting your time, that's why.
Don't worry. Let's wait for Nat.
My challenge is the last one. I've not saved it on my.
Oh, so you can project it. The only thing was that I realized you had used some of the sentences already. So I changed 1 or 2, but you can project
So
it.
you let me project what I have so that you can look at yours and then. Okay, so I've projected it.
All right. Please, kindly move to the questions, the next slide. So I'm representing group 3 from Zenith. Our questions are: explain how word arrangement and grammatical relationships generate structural ambiguity. Then 2, analyze ambiguity resulting from dangling, misplaced, and squint modifiers, showing how meaning changes with word order. So these are the key words. Because of time, I don't think I have to spend much time here. Ambiguity modifier, misplaced modifier, and the rest. So probably later then you can assess them. The objectives are for us to define and explain the concept of ambiguity in language by the end of this discussion, and then identify and analyze types of structural ambiguity, examine modifier-related ambiguities, demonstrate how meaning changes with word arrangement, suggest to avoid ambiguity in writing and speech. Okay, now, how can we define ambiguity? Ambiguity is made up of some morphemes. Ambi, when you see ambi in a word, it simply means it has two meanings or divergent meanings. So two things, and then ig also means act or drive. Then the et at the end is a nominal morpheme. So it's telling us that it has to do with any form of structure that gives two or more meanings to the listener. So that is simply what ambiguity means. Two or more interpretations given to a particular utterance. Thank you. Please, the next one. Okay, we have so many types of ambiguities. My brothers have already spoken much about some of them. So I will just list them because our focus here is structural ambiguity. But if you care to know much about it, then you can also read on lexical ambiguity, semantic ambiguity, pragmatic ambiguity, referential ambiguity, phonological ambiguity, and scope ambiguity. Thank you. So what then is structural ambiguity? It has to do with syntactic ambiguity because it's about how words are arranged in a particular utterance, which generates multiple interpretations. That is all about structural or syntactic ambiguity. So English meaning depends on word order and grammatical relationships. Changing word order can change interpretations. Example, I saw the man with a telescope. So right now, it can mean that the man has a telescope, and then it can also mean that you have used a telescope to see the man. Please, the next one. Okay, so these are other examples. Flying planes can be dangerous. So planes that fly can be dangerous. That's one meaning. And then you, the one also acting on the plane, by flying it, it can be dangerous to you. So you can see that because of how the words have been arranged, there is some sort of structural ambiguity. The chicken is ready to eat. So, darling, the chicken is ready to eat. Darling may be thinking that the chicken has been prepared as food, and then it's ready on the table for him to enjoy. But then he can also think that it is about what? Chicken itself that is hungry and so is ready to feed. So you can see because of how the words have been arranged, there is some sort of structural ambiguity. Now, grammatical relationships and attachment also create ambiguity. Ambiguity often comes from unclear phrase attachment. For example, he met a professor of linguistics from Ghana. So one meaning is professor teaches linguistics and he is from Ghana. The second one is professor of linguistics who works in Ghana has been met by the speaker. So this also has given us a kind of ambiguity. The students discuss the problem with the lecturer. Maybe the students are not happy with the lecturer's behavior, and so they discussed that problem that they have with the lecturer. Or the students themselves had challenges, and then they decided to visit the lecturer to discuss the problem. So this also definitely is ambiguous. Now, we have types of structural ambiguities, which are coordination ambiguity and scope ambiguity. The coordination ones have to do with coordinative conjunctions. So you have used a coordinative conjunction to join two phrases which have modifiers attached. For example, the bakery sells fresh bread and croissants, or let me put biscuit there. The bakery sells fresh bread. So this can mean the bread alone is fresh and the biscuits not fresh. It can also mean both the bread and the biscuits are fresh. So this is definitely a kind of coordination ambiguity because of the use of the and between the two nominal groups. Please, let's move to the next one is noun phrase. Noun phrase or sentence coordination. So this one, noun phrases, and then or sentence coordination. So you have used and between. You can use other coordinators too. So old men and women were invited. Is it now about the men being the only old people who were invited, or both the men and the women are all old? So this one too is ambiguous. Either only the man or only the women. Okay. Then the other one is modify ambiguity with an adverb. She worked diligently and quietly. So diligently can apply to how the person worked, or it can apply, the person's working can apply to both diligently and quietly. So these are all examples of coordination ambiguities. The next one is scope ambiguity. As we all understand, scope is about the depth or how wide something is. So this is about whether what you have said covers a few people or a lot of people. It has to do more with degree words such as only and what have you. It has to do with also indefinite pronouns. So for example, every student knows a song. One meaning can be, for every student, there is at least one song that they know. Then another meaning could be, there is one specific song that every student knows. So these are two interpretations that the listener can apply to the utterance. Then negative and quantify ambiguity. The detective didn't find two suspects. One is that the detective did not find two suspects, but he might have found probably no one or more than two. Then it can also mean that there were two suspects and then the detective searched for them and did not find them. Modal verb and quantifier ambiguity. So this is also, you must attend a mandatory meeting. It's definitely ambiguous because if you bring the air first, then it will apply to one meeting. Then if you maintain the mass over there, it would mean that you are obliged by force, whether you like it or not, to attend a meeting which is compulsory for you. Please, the next one. Why do we have to know about structural ambiguity? The reason is that it causes misunderstanding in communication. It also affects clarity in academic writing, law, and journalism. It helps linguists understand the relationship between syntax and semantics, and it encourages precision in teaching and learning English grammar. So we need to know about it so we can overcome all this. Please, now the next one. So we are done with our first question. The second question is about modifier-based ambiguity. So there are three: dangling modifiers, misplaced modifiers, and squint or two-way modifiers. Please, let's move to dangling modifiers. So dangling modifiers are phrases that have no clear subject to modify. A dangling modifier is a descriptive word or phrase which is often a participial phrase or infinitive, and which doesn't have any clear subject. And so you need to introduce a subject called pro-subject or a noun subject so that you can clear the ambiguity. And it causes an illogical or grammatical incomplete meaning. Please, the next one. Okay, so we have some here which are running down the street, the bus suddenly stopped. So is it the bus that was running down the street, or you, the human being, it was the one running down the street? So you realize that it has definitely created ambiguity if you fail to introduce a pro subject. So introducing a pro subject, it will sound like this: running down the street, I saw the bus suddenly stop. So it has cleared that ambiguity. Please, the next one. Please, when you finally receive the slides, you can check the other examples. The next one. Why dangling modifiers occur? That's already established. Missing or implied subject. Confusion between subject of main clause and subordinate clause. It also occurs, okay, frequently in participial or infinitive phrases. When we're learning about forms and functions of grammar, we met infinitive. So it usually occurs in such constructions. So how do we fix this kind of dangling modifier challenge? By ensuring the subject of the main clause is the one performing the action. Please, the next one. Now, we are on misplaced modifiers. Misplaced modifiers. A misplaced modifier is a word or phrase that is placed awkwardly in the sentence, causing it to modify the wrong word or element, which changes the meaning or makes the sentence nonsensical. This often involves words like only, nearly, or almost. A misplaced modifier is too far from the word it modifies, creating confusion. So an example is the reporter only spoke to the celebrity. So in order to clear the ambiguity, make sure you take the degree modifier close to what you are modifying. Then you can clear the ambiguity. So an example, the correct form is the reporter spoke to the celebrity only. That is one meaning. Then another one can be the reporter did not. Another one can be the reporter did not. Please, I move it to the next one. Okay, so the point I was trying to make is that make sure you move the degree adverb close to the word you are modifying. Then that can take care of the misplaced modifier. Thank you. Then squint modifiers, as the term implies, squinting, when you squint your eyes, you don't know which direction you are watching. So squinting is simply about you not being clear in what you are focusing on. So a squinting modifier is positioned where it could modify either the preceding or following phrase. That is how you can clear the ambiguity. You must place it either before or after what you are modifying. So an example is students who cheat often fail. So now let's look at the first form. Students who often cheat will fail. They cheat frequently because they usually, students who often cheat will fail. So they cheat frequently, and that frequent cheating will make them fail. Then second one, students who cheat will often fail. The failing occurs frequently because those students cheat. That is the meaning. So you can see that now that the modifier has been placed closer to each of the words they are modifying, the meanings have become clear. So students who cheat will fail often. Please, the next one. So this is our summary table, which covers all that I've presented. Structural, which has to do with multiple analysis, multiple interpretations of how, of a structure because of the arrangement of the words in that utterance. Then example, I saw the man with the telescope. Problem, who used the telescope? Correction, clarify phrase, attachment. Dangling, that means there's no subject. So you have to introduce a pro subject to get your sentence disambiguated. The misplaced modifiers, you have wrongly placed the modifiers in the structure. Squint modifiers, they have divergent views. So you don't know which is which. So what do? Place the modifier close to what you are modifying. Please, the next one. So strategies to avoid ambiguity: maintain clear word order, keep modifiers near their targets, use punctuation, commas, hyphens effectively, rephrase long or unclear clauses, read sentences aloud to test clarity. So this is just a linguistic insight. Meaning is determined not only by words, but by the structure that connects them, by Lyons, 1995. Meaning, structural and modifier ambiguity highlight the connection between syntax and semantics in meaning construction. Conclusion: word arrangement affects interpretation. Ambiguity results from unclear syntactic or modifier placement. Clear sentence structure ensures effective communication. And last but by no means least, understanding ambiguity is key in English semantics and meaning. Thanks for the opportunity. Reference. Thank you. Please, I'm done.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So since we are not getting in touch with Madam, if you have any questions, contributions, or whatever, kindly make it now. Thank you.
Thank you very much for holding the fort. It's going on. Someone was
Thank
coordinating.
You,
yes, please.
Who was that?
Nat.
Thank you very much, Nat.
Thank you, Madam.
I didn't hear it full, but I think you were asking a question. Oh.
No, I rather said if there are any contributions, questions,
okay.
or suggestions, yes, the floor is open while we are waiting your coming over.
Oh, okay. All right, so like Nat said, any contribution or question, comment? As for today, okay, let's see the. All right, so it seems we are okay. All right, I've seen a well done here, Madam Ernestine, well done.
Thank you, Madam.
Yes, for the feedback, I think it's okay. Thank you very much. All the presenters so far. Okay, let's take, who is next? Okay. Madam Ernestine, your group, which group was that?
Please, Zenith College.
So,
Zenith
are we
College.
done with Zenith?
Yes, please.
So, we are moving on to, is it group 4 or 5? Where's my list? Is there any other group here that is prepared? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, madam, I can hear you.
I'm trying to find the... Okay, I think my network is a bit stable now. It seems the other groups are not here. So let me just see if I can finish the lesson 5.
Hello, madam. Tamale group 2 is there.
Yes. Who?
Tamale.
Okay, so I was asking if any group is here that is ready. Then, okay, Tamale, take over. Let me just...
Group 7 is also ready.
Oh, okay. I thought none of you was
Group 7. Yeah, group 12.
All right.
Yeah.
Then you can take over, please. Tamale.
Okay, Tamale, take over.
Okay.
I thought the group 7 would rather go first.
Group 7 here.
Yes, madam.
Oh, okay. Then let's hear you.
Godfrey, please take over.
All right. Good morning. So this is Group 7, Wachiko Center. And then we are presenting on how Malinowski concept of situation revolutionized the study of meaning in a language and the role of empathic communication in the understanding of language as a social tool. So I'm going to break the presentation into 2. So we are going to first of all talk about how Malinowski's concept of situation revolutionized the study of meaning in a language. When we are done, you look at the role of empathic communication in the understanding of language as a tool. So let's look at a background of Bronislaw Malinowski. He is a Polish anthropologist, and he proposed the idea of the context of situation in language. In his field work among the Trobriand Islanders, he noticed that meaning in a language could not be understood by analyzing words of sentences in isolation, as traditional linguists have done. So let me give you a brief history about the Trobriand Islanders. They are indigenous people of Trobriand Island, and then they are located in the east coast of New Guinea in the South Pacific Ocean. This scholar, Bronislaw Malinowski, went there and then lived there with these people for some time. He was doing his field work. When he was there, he observed something about the Trobriand Islanders. He noticed that they were not using language just to communicate thoughts. He realized that they were using language as a social institution. They were deeply connected to their social life. So they were not using language to only share information, but to maintain relationships and perform social functions. So when he noticed this, he used this to coin the context of situation and emphatic communication. So this is the background of Bronislaw Malinowski. So let's look at the first part of the presentation, Malinowski's concept of context of situation and its impact on the study of meaning. I think context has been talked about by the subsequent presentation, many of the presenters have talked about context, so I'll just move on briefly. So before Malinowski, the other linguists were using language as a self-contained system, meaning the words were studied abstractly. They were only looking at the structural meaning of the words in isolation. So Malinowski changed this by arguing that meaning is situational and pragmatic, and that words gain meaning only within the social and cultural context in which they are used. So he added that language must be studied in use, that is in the actual context of situation, which includes the speaker. So here we consider the speaker, the listener, the setting, the purpose, and the shared cultural knowledge. So according to Malinowski, when you want to understand a language, we shouldn't look at the words, the meaning of the words in isolation in the text, but rather we should consider the speaker, the listener, the setting, the purpose, and the shared cultural knowledge. For example, imagine you are chatting with a friend at a nightclub and someone says, "I am feeling hot." In this context, it means the person is feeling the music or having a great time. But if someone said the same thing to you on a sunny day at the beach, you would think they mean they are feeling warm or getting sunburned. If a patient said the same statement to a doctor in a hospital context, they would mean that they are having a fever. So you realize that same expressions, different context, different meaning. That is the meaning of context of situation. In the example I gave, you realize that we have 3 different contexts, same expressions, and then they are giving us different meanings. Malinowski's theory revolutionized linguistics by shifting the focus from language as a structure to language as a social action. Then he changed it from text meaning to contextual meaning. So that is the first part. Please, I will share the slides with you when I'm done with the presentation, because context of situations have been talked about by Madam already. That is why I want to summarize everything so that we can make progress. Now let's look at the role of factual communication in understanding language as a social. So the same person, Malinowski, introduced the concept of factic communion or communication. And then what he meant by factic communication is that language is used not to exchange information, but to establish social relationships. In our Ghanaian context, when you meet someone and then you ask of the person's health by asking the person, "How are you?" It establishes some social bond between the two. And that is what Malinowski meant by factic communication. That was what he learned from the islanders, the one I talked about. So examples include pleasantries such as "How are you?" That fosters social connection. So factic communication emphasizes language as a tool of social bonding, not merely of conveying thoughts. So it creates solidarity, reduces social distance, and sustains interpersonal harmony. It shows that communication is often about relationship building rather than information exchange. That is the main focus of factic communication. So this insight presented language as a social institution. Let me conclude. In conclusion, Malinowski's ideas transmitted linguist thought by linking language, culture, and context. He showed that to understand meaning, one must study how language operates in real life. So in short, Malinowski is telling us that before we can understand meaning, we shouldn't study the language structurally, but then we should study how the language is used in real life, how the language is used in context. So the words will get their meanings from the situation, from the context in which they are used. All right, thank you. Please, I'm coming.
Nat, are you not taking over?
Madam is around, so I think.
Okay. Madam, group 7 is done.
Oh, okay. Then, since we can't hear from her, please, I mean, that was an insightful presentation, seriously. But you have to really share this your slide with us, so seriously. Yeah. So please, are there any let me appreciate it first, even before I ask for contributions and all that. Please, if there are contributions, if there are suggestions, whatever, let's kindly bring them up. But if I may ask, so can you give me a brief summary? Just say, let's say in a minute, what it's all about. I mean, even though yes, I understand it, but I just want a 1 minute summary, if it's possible. If it's not, that's okay. Thank you.
All right. So in summary, Malinowski's theory just means that language does not operate in isolation. It operates in context. We cannot understand language in isolation. So if you want to appreciate and understand the language, then we have to look at the environment which surrounds the language. So we look at the context, the cultural background, the speaker, the listener, and then we also look at the context in which it is used. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. Please, so are there any questions to ask? Any contributions to make? Otherwise, then we would move to the next group. So I think it's Tamale or so. If Tamale is ready, Tamale can.
Tamale group 11, we are ready.
Okay. Please make your presentation. Thank you.
Group 11, this is our question. We'll share the slides when we are done.
Okay.
Explain Halliday's systemic functional linguistics. That's the first part. The second part, how do the three key types of context, that is textual context, context of culture, context of situation, operate with the systemic functional linguistics? So the first part, explain Halliday's systemic functional linguistics. Michael Halliday's systemic functional linguistics is a theory that views language as a source for making meaning in social contexts, focusing on why and how language is used rather than just its structure. It is systemic because it analyzes grammar as a system of choice and function. It also examines how these choices are used to effectively communicate purpose. So the main idea of Holiday is how we communicate. Then we come to the second part, three key types of context that operate with the systemic functional linguistics. One, textual context. I'll just summarize them because my other group members have already mentioned something on them. Textual context. This is the context within the text itself, including the surrounding text that influence the meaning of a particular utterance. For example, I'll use the first group's examples, bank. If you hear the word bank, several things will come to your mind, but the surrounding words on bank will tell you whether it's talking about financial institution or the riverbank. That is the contextual context, the surrounding words that is depicting the meaning of the particular word you are talking about. That's the first one. The second one is context of culture. The broader cultural background that influence language use. It includes the cultural norms, values, and then the conventions that shape how language is used and interpreted. So, for example, in an area where the word gay is a challenge, if you are speaking within a cultural context, you mind the type of words that you use and the meaning it may carry, wrong to what you intend to carry. So you look at the cultural context of the word. Then the third example is context of situation. The immediate situation in which a language is used. It includes the participants, the settings, and then the purpose of the presentation. The situation in which the languages that you want to present is what will tell you the purpose of the presentation. So situations also demands maybe formal, informal, or whether it's a written or it is a spoken word. The main idea is what you intend to communicate is communicated out. So these three dimensions of Michael Holiday is trying to present to us what we want to communicate and what the one that is listening actually picks from what we want to communicate. In conclusion, the systemic functional linguistics, these contexts operate together to shape the meaning of language. The context of situation influence the choice made in language. The context of culture impact the broader meaning, and then the interpretation of the language and the textual of content affect how elements within the text relate to each other to make meaning. So these three terms by Michael Holidays is what we all need to take into consideration when we want to communicate so that the listener understands what you actually intend to present. Thank you. Zanat, I'm done.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thank
Straight
you.
to the point.
I think Nat, I think you should take over. Okay, because today I can't trust my internet.
But I only take over when maybe you we lose you.
When I'm not.
When you
All right. So
come back. Mm-hmm.
Before I left, I heard a male voice, but now I heard a female voice. So I'm not sure if it's the same presentation or different presentations.
It's a different presentation.
Okay. So are we still at yours?
Also is done and Tamale is also done.
So
okay.
Holy Child is
all right.
We can come to Holy Child.
Okay. That's for today. I didn't enjoy the class. Let's go to the Holy Child.
Yeah.
So Holy Child, I think you are left with 3 groups there.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Then let's go to Holy Child.
Okay.
Can I please ask a question?
All right, go ahead.
Yes, I want to find out in the instance or circumstance where someone is not aware of the rights words culturally accepted and the person makes statements which are an abomination. What then happens to that particular person?
Is this question in relation to context?
Yes, the Tamale lady presentation was about context.
Okay. Okay, so Tamale, let's hear you.
I'll try my best. The context of culture. We are saying that wherever you are communicating, you should be aware of the particular cultural norms of the people. I use an example of gay. Here we have a Muslim community. So maybe if you are communicating, the culture of the people should influence how you communicate. So you may not be aware of certain situations. If you speak them, I'm sure maybe you may be pardoned but cautioned. The main idea we want to carry out in this presentation is that in communicating, the cultural norms of the area must be considered. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, madam.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please, Holy Child Group 5 is ready.
Okay. So, Madam Comfort, you can bring in the slide. Let's look at it.
Okay.
Are you done?
Hello, anyone on the floor?
Hello. Hello. Hello, Madam Comfort.
Please, I'm sharing. Kindly wait.
Yeah, hello.
Please, can you see?
No, I can't see you.
No, the slides has disappeared.
It has disappeared.
It is showing now.
Yeah, we can see. We can see now.
It is showing now. Yeah, for only child group 5, who were presented with a problem, a question. And we are given 2 questions. One is how can ambiguity result from confusion of grammatical form or function, and what strategies can resolve it? And then the second one was how does referential ambiguity arise from unclear pronoun reference, and what strategies can resolve it? So first, we looked at ambiguity, as has already been explained by our colleagues. This is a semantic situation in which an item or a form has 2 or more meanings or interpretations. Form or meaning, form here may refer to a word, a phrase, or a clause. So let's move to the next slide. Okay. How can ambiguity result from confusion of grammatical form or function and from punctuation placement? So this is what we've got as a way of tackling the question. This occurs when we are unable to distinguish between a noun phrase and a gerundial clause, which means a clause built around a gerund. In this situation, the phrase or gerund clause can be interpreted in more than one way, because because of the grammatical rule or structure. For example, visiting relatives can be boring, just as was explained by our previous presenters. It has two meanings here. One, the act of visiting relatives is boring, which is a general cause. And the second meaning is relatives who are visiting can be boring. So here we are with the second explanation is concerned about the visitors who are visiting the person who is giving this sentence. So let's go to the next slide. Yeah. So ambiguity from punctuation placement. Punctuation guides how we group or interpret words. When punctuation is misplaced or missing, it can change the meaning of a form. For example, so let's look at examples below. Example 1. I like cooking, my family, and my dog. Then we have, I like cooking, my family, and my dog. In the first meaning, that's example 1. The sentence may mean someone listing 3 things he likes. That is here saying that he likes cooking, or I like cooking, I like my family, then I like my dog. Then the second sentence implies that I am cooking my family and my dog, which obviously is unreal. So let's go to the next one. Yes. Then the second question is how can referential ambiguity arise from unclear pronoun references, and what strategies can resolve it? Referential ambiguity arises when the reference of a word is uncertain or could refer to more than one thing, leading to confusion. This makes it difficult to determine the specific reference of a particular pronoun in a sentence. So we have 2 examples there that we want to look at. The first one says that when the teacher spoke to the student, she was angry. So in this context, in the sentence above, the pronoun she is ambiguous because it could either refer to the teacher or the student. Next slide. Can we move to the next slide? Okay. All right. Strategy to resolve referential ambiguity. 1. Replace the pronoun with the specific noun. So here we want to look at the first example and how we can deal with that. When the teacher was speaking to the student, the teacher was angry. Here we have brought in the teacher here to indicate what the sentence is all about. And then again, we have the second one. Rephrase the sentence for clarity as in, so the sentence I just gave. The teacher was very angry when she was speaking to the student. Now we have rephrased the sentence I gave earlier on. So now understanding is clearer. Next. So in summary, grammatical confusion and wrong or missing punctuation cause ambiguity in structure and meaning, while reference ambiguity arises from unclear pronoun references. This is what we were able to gather for the question given to us. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Those are Madam
So then
Escoff. That was, yeah, that was great. That was great, sir. So colleagues, as we've been doing, if there's a contribution addition, kindly do so. If there are questions to ask, please ask so we can make progress. For me, it was a wonderful presentation. Seriously. If there are no questions, then maybe we'll move on to the next group to make their presentation. Thank you. Please, which group is ready? That group can kindly make its presentation. Hello, colleagues.
Yes, hello.
Please no.
Please, Tamale Group 2, we are also ready. Tamale
Okay,
Group 12.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes,
The floor is yours, sir.
Okay. So let me try and then share my screen and then we can proceed. Please, is my screen visible?
Not yet.
Hello?
Not yet, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, somehow.
Yes, it's
Somehow.
showing. It's visible.
Is visible now?
Yes.
Okay. So my name is Haruna, and I'll be presenting on behalf of Group 12 of Tamale Study Center. So we are actually about 9 in number. So our question was, so this is our question. Illustrate holidays contextual variables, field, tenor, and mood, using examples from different communicative registers or genres. So basically, our question is on holidays theory of contextual variables. So we have to look at these variables, which include the field, the tenor, and the mood, in terms of meaning making. So basically, these are pictorial presentations of the mood. So you can see the field, you can see the tenor, and then you can see the mood. So let's move on to look at an introductory part of it. So basically, M.A.K. Halliday, who was born in 1925 and died in 2018, developed a theory called systematic functional linguistics, or in short, SFL. And this theory focuses on the relationship between language and its functions in social contexts. It explains how context plays a central role in meaning making. So basically, we are talking about how, people interpret the meaning of sentences or utterances based on the social context in which those utterances are made. So now, so let's look at the theory more. So the theory was developed by M.A.K. Halliday, and this theory emphasizes the relationship between language and context. As other presenters have spoken already, context is very important when it comes to interpretation of utterances. And so this theory views language as a social semiotic system, a resource for meaning making. So it views language as a means to make meaning. Then it also says that meaning arises from how language functions in real life situations. And then also point 4, the theory emphasizes that context shapes language use and determines how messages are interpreted. Point 5, the theory focuses on the purpose. It focuses on the purpose, that is the function of language rather than just the structure. So here, Halliday is emphasizing more on the function of language, the functional aspect of language, and not the structure per se. Then point 6, the theory suggests that language choices vary according to the social and cultural context. Like others have said, meaning can be interpreted based on the context the utterance is made. So let's move on and then we'll see examples. Yes, so Halliday also came out with types of context. In his theory, he came out with 3 types of context. So we have the textual context, the context of culture, and the context of situation. These are the 3 contexts that Halliday developed. And then he further identified 3 aspects of context of situation, which means that under the 3 main contexts, under the context of situation and culture, he further identified 3 aspects of them, specifically the context of situation. And these are the 3. So we have the field, we have the tenor, and then we have the mood. All these 3 aspects are under the context of situation. So when we talk about field, what is the meaning of field? Field is what is going on. So let's say when 2 people are communicating, let's say a student and a teacher are communicating. So the field is what is going on. The subject or activity being discussed. What in particular is being discussed between the 2 people, which means the subject matter. So the subject matter is the field. Then we have the tenor. The tenor is who is involved. Who are the people doing the communication? And what is the relationship between the 2 of them? So like I already said, one example is a teacher and a student. So what is the relationship between them? That is the tenor. Then we have the mode. The mode is how the communication is structured. What is the communication mode or channel being used by the 2 people? So that is the mode. Is it, for example, is it spoken or written? Is it casual or formal? What is the mode of communication? So these are the 3 aspects when we are talking about the context of a situation. And these 3 aspects help us to understand how language varies depending on the social context in which it is used. So just to throw more light on the 3 types of context that I mentioned, the textual context, the context of culture, and the context of situation. Textual context here refers to the linguistic environment surrounding an utterance. It ensures coherence and it helps interpret meaning within discourse. So here, this one talks about the structure of the utterance, the structure of the utterance. As English teachers, we all know that meaning can be based on the syntax and the grammatical context of an utterance. So this is the textual context we are talking about. Then the second one is the context of culture. So this one encompasses the broader social, historical, and cultural background that influences how language is used and understood. One of the presenters mentioned that in interpreting statements, we look at the context in which those statements are made, and we look at the environment. So, for example, what you say in an Islamic community might mean differently from, let's say, a Christian community. So that's the broader context that we are talking about. Then the next one is the context of situation. So this one is the immediate environment or communication. And this one is shaped by the field and the tenor. So let's move on. So having explained the different types of context that Halliday developed, let's now look at how how they are used in practical sense. And we're going to look at the three aspects, which is the field, the tenor, and the mood. So we're going to look at how these three aspects of the context are applied in communication, looking at different communicative registers or looking at different situations of communication. So we're going to look at some examples. So let's begin with the field. So as we already explained, field refers to the subject matter, the activity or the purpose of the communication. So the activity. So for instance, you may have a job interview or you may have a casual conversation. These are two different subject matter that will have different communications, different style of communication. So in a job interview, for example, the field is what? Professional employment, qualifications, and career goals. So that is the field when we're talking about a job interview. So the language used will be formal, it will be specific, and it will be focused on demonstrating competence. So you realize that the language that we use in a job interview will be formal. There is no room for jokes. There is no room for familiarity. It is formal and it is straight to the point. So that is the field. So when you're talking about field and we're talking about job interview, the language will be formal. Let's look at some examples here. But when you look at, okay, so in contrast to the casual conversation, conversations between friends has a field of personal interest, daily life, and social bonding. So you realize that the language that we use in this context will be different from the language that we use in a job interview. The language used in job interview will not be the same as the language used in a casual conversation. So in this case, in a casual conversation, the language is informal, it is general, and it is filled with colloquialisms. For instance, friends might say, "Hey, what's up? Did you catch the game last night?" Now, this kind of language cannot be used in a job interview. I'm sure we all agree. And so, that is the field, differentiating between different types of field in terms of job interview and then in terms of a casual conversation. So I didn't give an example for the job interview. In a job interview, for example, a candidate might say, "I have consistently exceeded expectations in my previous role, particularly in project management and team leadership." So this is a job interview where someone is being interviewed. This is the language the person might use. Now, if you compare that to the casual conversation, you see that the language structure is different. So this one is formal, this one is informal. So that is the field. Now let's look at the next aspect, which is the tenor. Tenor describes the relationship between the participants in the communication, including their roles, their status, and level of familiarity. So, for example, a teacher versus student, or a doctor versus a patient. So when you're talking about a teacher versus student and doctor versus patient, these are two different categories of people. And the relationship between the two participants in the communication also influences the choice of words. It also influences how the communication is being done. So this is the tenor in terms of the people, the participants who are involved. So in a teacher-student interaction, the tenor is hierarchical, with the teacher holding authority and expertise. So in this case, when we are talking about a hierarchical relationship, the language is instructional, evaluative, and often directive. So teachers, we don't have casual conversations with students. What we do is we give instructions, we give evaluations, and then we give directions. So a teacher might say, please complete the assignment, the assigned reading for tomorrow, and be prepared to discuss the key concepts. So this is a typical example of a teacher-student communication. Or in terms of giving directives, teachers often give directives to students. And then also, our language is evaluative and it is instructional. So the tenor is basically talking about the relationship between the two people who are communicating. Let's go further to look at, so in terms of the doctor-patient interaction, the tenor is professional, but also caring, with the doctor providing medical advice and patient seeking help. So the doctor-patient relationship also influences how communication is done. And so for that matter, the language is informative, empathetic, and sometimes technical. So if you look at this one will be different from the teacher-student or teacher-student relationship. So while the teacher-student relationship, the language might be instructional, evaluative. In the doctor-patient relationship, the language is informative, empathetic, and sometimes technical. So for example, a doctor might say, based on your symptoms, it's likely a common cold, but we should run some tests to rule out anything more serious. So you realize there is a bit of technicality and also a bit of care and empathetic language. So that is also the doctor versus patient relationship. Now let's go further to look at the last one, which is the mode. So when we talk about the mode refers to the channel of communication. So the channel through which the communication is being done is what also influences the choice of words. So this might include whether it is a spoken language, whether it is written language, whether it is planned or spontaneous, and its level of formality. An example is written news articles versus live sports commentary. A written news article is characterized by a formal, planned, and objective mode. The language is precise, is grammatically correct, and avoids personal opinions. For example, the government announced new economic policies today aimed at reducing inflation and stimulating growth. So the language is planned and it is well formatted. Now, in contrast, live sports commentary is spontaneous by nature. It is spoken and it is highly interactive. So the language is informal, it is dynamic, and it is filled with excitement. A commentator might say, he shoots, he scores. What an incredible goal by Ronaldo, putting this team in the lead. So you realize that this kind of language is not formal. He shoots, he scores. What an incredible goal by Ronaldo. So this is driven by passion, not by structure. So the mode of communication basically also influences the choice of words that are used in communication. And that is that for the mode. So we have come to the end. And so in conclusion, the systemic functional linguistics, which is a theory that was developed by Halliday, provides a comprehensive framework for understanding the complex relationships between language, meaning, and context. So meaning is made based on the context in which language is used. And that is what the theory is all about. Thank you very much for your attention.
Wow. You made it so simple. But Suleiman's hand is up. Let's listen to Suleiman. Suleiman,
Okay.
you have the floor, please. Hello. I think I saw Suleiman raise a hand. I don't know if he wants to come in later or
okay.
He has left. He has network challenge. Any other person?
Okay. Okay. So is there any other hand that is up?
Yeah. But say the presentation was good. Very insightful.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
I mean, you have made me understand that particular theory by Halliday. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. So can I take down my screen, or I should wait for the questions?
They are not coming. So you would rather share your screen with us on the platform. So
all right. I'll forward it. I'll forward it.
Yes, okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. So that does it for the last presentation. Is there any other presentation? Madam has not joined us yet. Is there any other, please? We are waiting. Hello, is there any other? Okay. Otherwise, it's just less than a minute to 10 o'clock, and I think they've been constantly meeting us at I think 11 or so. So Madam Ernestine, you can come in, please.
Yeah. So from the presentation of my brother, it means that the
Please, your voice is faint, very faint.
Okay. Okay. I think I'm now sounding clearer.
Yeah, please, loud and clear. Thank you very much.
Yes. So from the presentation, we can conclude that the types of context have all been underpinned by Michael Halliday's theory. Then under the 3 types of context that we are learning about, he further propounded 3 different variables to explain the situational context. Is that so, my brother?
Yes. That is so. So the other three, yes, the other three are sub types under the context of situation.
Under the context of situation.
Situation, yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Like Nat has said, I think you have given us enough for us to conceptualize and consolidate. Because earlier field, some people were taking it to be maybe sports field, education, what have you. But from your explanation and exemplifications, I think it's now clear that it's rather about the subject matter.
The subject matter, exactly.
Subject matter.
Yes, yes. What is being discussed.
Yes. And then the participants become the tenor. Then the
mode tenor, exactly.
Is the means
the
by
mode
which
becomes the communication is being done. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. So you've rendered a human service. So I bet
Thank you.
my heart at you and every other presenter. You've all done so well. Yeah, thank you.
All right.
So, I mean, do we need further discussions on our presentation so far, or Madam is not joined yet? We can. That's my suggestion anyway. We should end the lesson and prepare for. Is it what do you call it? Prof lecture. Come again.
For literary criticism.
Yeah, literary criticism. Yes. And I see what time is that coming?
I think 11.
Is it 11? Oh, okay. So we still have more time. Can't we have an engagement on the presentation so far? Yes, please.
So are we done with the presentation so far? All the presentations?
I don't think we are, but it looks like others are not forthcoming. Maybe they are not ready as at now. Yes. That is why I'm bringing this suggestion. But if any other group is ready, please, if we could do all the presentations today, so that if any arrangement.
My dear brother, dear Nat.
I'm listening, please.
Somebody is requesting a re-presentation that is it a she or a he has missed mine, but I think that will be. I don't know what the rest will say. The person said, "Can Madame Ernestine represent hers?" I've missed it. So if it's only one person, then it is better we do it privately. But if other people,
Ernestine, I agree with the one requesting for you to make your presentation. I don't know what the others will say anyway.
Please don't put Ernestine in a tight corner. Not to mention the
way Ernestine is speaking, you can see he's fired up to. Maybe the second presentation would you know, she had to rush through because there were so many other presentations that were to follow hers.
I understand. I understand. There's a proverb that when you are excuse my language, when you have a body odor and you fart, you make your issues worse. So
but what happens to those connectivity? Is it that she's engaged or it's a network problem?
It looks like the network problem. She's off. So yeah, it's up for us to decide what to do.
I think I'm back.
Okay, Doc. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay.
We can hear you clearly, Doc.
So have you taken all the presentations? Is there any presentation? You still can't hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Is there any presentation left?
Maybe.
Okay. So we were supposed to have 12.
I think Prof is Doug is trying to say we're supposed to have 12 presentations. Can we do a count to save?
Yes, let's do the count.
Zenith, we made 3 presentations. And then Tamale, I think 2 or so.
2, yes, Tamale 2.
We have 5. Which other center?
You also
presented. The also center was just 1 presentation, isn't it? Or
yes,
2?
Please.
1. So we have 6. Any other center, please? Then I'll conclude. So 7. We have 7.
Yeah.
Can we confidently conclude there were 7 presentations out of the 12? That would mean we have 5 more presentations to receive. Okay, so this one we have to. Yes.
Can you please have the names of those who have not presented yet, so that if they are on the platform, they could do that for us?
They may, unless Doc can best help. Otherwise, whoever has not yet presented, the group that has not yet presented, or the center can own up, so that when Doc comes, arrangement could be made. If we could meet within the week or any other time. Thank you.
Maybe they are not prepared. Otherwise, I'm sure they would have shown up.
Yes. I just hope Madam would join us, so we look at the way forward beyond today.
The other groups here, and the other groups here. Couldn't join us today. Because they are the best to respond.
Hello, colleagues. This one permits me to do this advert. I use a network that it's very good, 3D wireless. So if you happen to be around Kaswa, Koforidua, and within Accra, you can get in touch, and I'll link you to them. Their services are, I think, quite cool. And it's very good network. This one, the free lesson I'm giving.
Hello.
Hello, madam.
Yes, hello.
Hello, madam. We can hear you.
Well, today they forgive me for my networking. I don't know. You see, I didn't really hear much of the presentation, seriously. But it seems you're all okay with the presentation. But then I will still need to have at least an hour with you. I need to wrap up everything we've done. At least, yes,
Okay.
I know you've done the presentation. I know the presentations went well. And I want to just get a summary of everything that we've done. And then, if possible, try and go through the tutorial questions with you. But today, obviously, right now, the network is stable at the moment, but I can't tell what will happen in the next second. So I don't know if you can fix 1 hour for me somewhere. But like I said, today, tomorrow, where I am now, even if it's tomorrow, we still can't have it because I can't guarantee a stable network. But Monday, I will be at a different, for that place, I can guarantee stable network. So I don't know if you can fix at least an hour for me somewhere. Because today's lesson, is someone speaking, please?
I'm saying that I'm very sure we'll be able to make that 1 hour.
Come again. I can't hear you well.
You were asking us to look for 1 hour.
I think 1 hour.
You. That's where you are now. That's a very bad connectivity.
I'm only
assuring.
Ernestine, you need to send the phone closer to your mouth. You can't hear anything.
Oh, I thought, madam.
Yes, no.
Oh, please, sorry. Please, I was saying that there's no need to worry because we'll surely make that 1 hour with you in the course of the week. So we will get back to you. I'm sure when we discuss it, we will all arrive at something. But I would like to ask if this is going to add to our scores or nothing.
Or the presentations.
Yes. Madam.
Asamaba.
Ernestine, you have made Madame speechless. Some of these things will make her lose her network.
Oh no, the network is stable. Oh no. I don't know. I don't want to promise, but I'll find out.
We are praying that God will touch your heart, so that something will happen there for us.
You see, your scores are not in my hands. You know that, but they are not in the hands of the lecturers. You know, but I will find out. I will find out. I didn't hear all the presentations, but the ones that I heard, I think they were good. I don't want to promise, and that's why I'm careful.
It's okay.
Madam, the answer is obvious. It's obvious.
That's why I'm being careful. So
it's now scoring.
It was. But seriously, okay, let's see. I don't know. I can't give you any. It used to be the case that after the presentations, we send your scores to them. But the last time, I didn't see that. So I don't know whether this time around they will bring back that. And that's why I'm careful about what to tell you now. Okay. That's why I'm careful about what to tell you now. If you bring the assessment sheet, of course, we'll present your assessment scores and then send it to them.
Okay. All right.
So what are the presentations at the other centers? It will be the same thing. If those ones they are given assessment sheet to score them. Then you also have your assessment sheet to be scored. Okay, it's the same thing we are running. So let's see how it goes.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Did we have a presentation on those who are supposed to pick some advertisements and then were they to illustrate with the, was there ambiguity? Did you have those people present? I'm not sure which question it was.
No, nothing like that came up.
Okay. So
I just read that Mr. Amadu made a presentation on what Madam just said. So, Mr. Amadu, can you kindly confirm, please?
Our presentation was on Halliday's systemic functional linguistics.
Yes.
I'm not sure it's captured on that. It's covered that.
Exactly.
So we looked at, yes, we looked at the field, the tenor, and the mood.
The mode, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much.
That's Tamale Group 12.
Yes.
Yes. But I think we still have.
Time is off. Can we agree on?
We need to take a decision and.
Yes, seriously. Let's take a decision so that.
Yes.
Nat.
Yes, please.
Hello?
Yes, please.
Can we schedule it on Monday morning, 8 to 9, since we are on meeting?
Hey, not all of us.
No.
Hey, not all of us.
Yeah, unfortunately, we are returning to. Yeah, not all of. Yes, we'll be in school on Monday.
I thought the midterm is up to Monday.
Not everybody is a public school teacher.
No. Schools they don't enjoy midterms, oh.
But for the first time, we have midterm.
You do.
Oh, that's it. That's the junior high schools, but the senior high schools, we are in session.
Yes.
Okay. What about the evening? What about evening time?
Hello. I think the evening will also be
meeting
fine,
us.
7 to 9.
Professor Nkansa will be meeting us this afternoon.
Madam is back, so let's allow her to talk.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, I suggest it. So you decide. You decide when we can meet because I've given
We are proposing. We are proposing Monday 7 to 9 in the evening.
That is fine. I will leave here on Monday morning. So by 5 p.m. I will be at where I'll be going. So 7 o'clock is fine.
Okay. And maybe 2 hours so that we can do a lot of things. Yeah.
That's okay. So I'll just
Prof is meeting us this
5 to
afternoon.
7.
No, Prof is meeting us this afternoon. He's meeting us today.
He's ending with us today. He's ending with us today.
He's ending with us today, so we'll be free on Monday.
Okay, so Monday 7 to 9. Thank you very much for your patience. And today, the network just didn't have. Thank you very much. We will meet on Monday.
Okay.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, I think we have closed. Bye bye, Anna. So we.
Madam Ernestine, kindly get in touch at the other side. Please, did you hear me? Madam Ernestine.
Hello, colleagues. I want to know if it's close because my network was disturbing me, so I didn't hear Madam at all. So let me know. Thank you.
We have closed, so Sammy. They say Monday or Tuesday or within the week.
Okay,
We'll
madam.
meet
Thank
for
you.
1 hour. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, madam.